This is a video about the Military Museum of Southern New England. So, in Danbury, Connecticut, there was this museum, and there's some features in it that I found in some ospreys that I want to talk about. So, this museum closed a couple of years ago, a few years ago, and here's my sketch of how the grounds were set up. So here is the building. This is the main building, and you can see it today in like an abandoned lot. Excuse me. This was the location and the getup of a D-25 gun off a JS2. That's how I call it because of how Aberdeen presented the JS3. And here's the MBT-70 place. And here's the main road. You could go by there, 125 Park Avenue, Danbury, Connecticut, and you go along here and you'll see an empty white building and an empty lot here. These are gone. So the first item would be a D-25. Here's my thumbnail sketch. Please don't get mad. You might see stock image of this on YouTube, but I drew it. Apparently in the Battle of Berlin, a JS2 is rolling along, and a German Panzer gun crew, the Wehrmacht or Waffen SS or Vistula group or somebody, sighted like a gun here, probably like maybe an anti-tank rifle of some type, and fired here, and went in through the sighting aperture, and it like came in and it melted part of the metal here, and it went in, and then it went to the back of the tank and exploded the ammunition locker. Here I've got this for graphic detail. So it went in like this, and it went to into the rounds. And there's no bulkhead in the JS2, so it detonated all the ammo and blew off the turret. It blew off this component here off the turret. It's quite a dramatic story. It was in the Battle of Berlin at this time in 1945. I ask myself quite often when this incident occurred if it was most likely in April of 1945 at the end, or could it possibly have been early May? But I don't think it was early May. I think the heaviest armored fighting in Berlin was in April, but I don't know for sure. So it's the fuel tanks, and then I'll show the gun. So here's a JS2 with the D-25. This is the type of gun that was blown off in Berlin. This is an example of the interim JS-122 variant in combat with the 2nd Ukrainian Front in the outskirts of Budapest, Hungary in December 1944. This vehicle has the early hull front, but the improved widened mantlet. So this is like the improved widened mantlet right there. And there's a second one, second tank, JS2 in the background. So one time when I got to Danbury, the curator, Sam Johnson, stood beside this example, and he told me about the whole thing that happened. And then as time went by, the museum closed, and I have no idea where this went. It just like vanished off the face of the earth, sort of. Now we get to the MBT-70. as far as I know, I've had the honor of working sort of on this as a civilian at a civilian museum with a U.S. Army prototype. So that's unique. All U.S. military prototypes are in U.S. government institutions, museums. This was the only prototype that, of this significance on a civilian get-up museum, or up until 2017. And then here's my thumbnail. It's just a generic thumbnail, please don't get mad. Here's the turret of MBT-70, the turret course, 152 millimeter shillelagh gun, and then here's the hull. And then this was hauled out one day in 2019, and the turret was put upside down and left there. And then I think I saw the lowrider truck come in and get ready to take the hull out, but I didn't want to hang out to watch because it was like sad, so I didn't watch it. But apparently the MBT-70, I have an example. The MBT-70 from Danbury was scrapped. So when one of these was at Danbury, and I observed the hull and the turret and the gun, but it did not have the track. It had some tires, and it had like the running gear had like axles or something that were like geared or levered, so it could go up and down, because the MBT-70 could stand up and it could crouch, stand up and crouch like that. It's kind of hard to explain it, but the drama of the whole thing is that the MBT-70 at Danbury was decimated. It was scrapped, and I saw the guy who took it away. His name was Anton, and he was a metal breaker and all that. So it's hard to find good images of the MBT-70, but I found one in this Osprey. Okay, well, I'm going to end off now. I hope you enjoyed this production.